The night began the way all nights did in the small, quiet village, without announcement, without urgency, without anything that could truly be called an event. It did not arrive suddenly, nor did it demand attention. Instead, it came gently, almost unnoticed, slowly replacing the last pale traces of evening light with a deepening blue that spread softly across the sky. There were no sudden sounds to mark its arrival, no hurried footsteps echoing along the dirt paths, no voices calling out into the fading day. There was no sense that anything important was about to happen, because nothing ever did. It was simply another night. At the far edge of the village stood a narrow cottage, slightly apart from the others, as though it preferred its distance. Inside, a single candle burned beside a simple wooden bed. Its small flame flickered only slightly, moving with a quiet reluctance, as though even it had grown tired of motion. The walls of the cottage were made of rough, uneven stone. They held the coolness of the night air, a steady chill that lingered long after the warmth of the day had disappeared. The scent of old wood and faint smoke rested quietly in the room, never strong enough to notice, yet always present. On the bed lay a man, wrapped in a coarse blanket that had long since lost any sense of newness. He was not fully asleep, yet not entirely awake. He existed somewhere in between, where thoughts drift slowly and time feels distant. His day had been like every other, simple, unremarkable. He had carried water from the well, one slow step at a time. He had mended a piece of worn cloth, his hands moving without thought. He had walked along the same narrow dirt path that led nowhere in particular, simply because it was there. There had been no urgency in any of it, no purpose beyond passing the time. Now, in the quiet of the night, those small tasks no longer mattered. They faded gently, dissolving into the same soft stillness that filled the room. It was as if they had never truly existed at all. Outside, the village had already settled into rest. Doors were closed tightly against the cool air. Fires had burned low, leaving behind only faint traces of warmth and the lingering scent of smoke. The ground held the quiet memory of the day, now untouched by movement. Somewhere in the distance, a dog shifted in its sleep. The sound was soft, almost imagined, and it disappeared as quickly as it came, leaving the silence unchanged. The man turned slightly on the bed. Beneath him, the straw gave a soft, familiar rustle. It was the sound he had heard every night for as long as he could remember. It brought no surprise, no discomfort. It was simply part of the world, as constant as the darkness itself. The candle flickered once, briefly, then steadied again. Time moved, though it did not feel like movement. It stretched, quietly, endlessly. Each moment seemed to blend into the next without any clear boundary between them. There was no clock to measure the hours, no bell to signal their passing. There was only the slow, gentle continuation of the night. The man closed his eyes for a moment, then opened them again. The darkness had deepened, though it was impossible to say exactly when that had happened. The edges of the room softened, fading into shadow. The wooden table near the wall was still there, but less certain now, as though it existed more in memory than in sight. Nothing had changed, and yet the night continued. A faint breeze slipped quietly through a small gap near the window. It carried with it the coolness of the outside air, brushing gently against the stillness of the room. The candle flame responded with a soft, careful sway, but it did not go out. It never seemed to go out quickly. It always lingered, always waited. The man listened, not for anything in particular, but simply because there was nothing else to do. The silence around him was not empty. It was full, in its own quiet way, made up of sounds so small they were almost invisible. The soft creak of wood adjusting to the cool air, the distant whisper of wind moving through unseen trees, the steady, quiet rhythm of his own breathing. In another place, on another night, there might have been more. Voices drifting through open windows, footsteps crossing the ground, the distant rise and fall of laughter or argument. But here, there was only this, and somehow it was enough. He shifted again, pulling the blanket a little closer around him. It held a faint warmth, though the air beyond it remained cool and still. The fabric was rough, worn by time and use, but familiar in a way that no longer required thought. It simply existed, just like everything else. The candle had burned lower now. The melted wax at its base had spread into quiet, shapeless forms that would never be noticed again. The flame itself seemed smaller, though it remained steady. The man watched it. It was something to look at, something that changed, even if only slightly. The way it leaned, then straightened again. The way its soft light touched the stone walls, creating shadows that moved just enough to suggest life, but not enough to truly have it. After a while, even that became familiar. Outside, the wind softened further. Or perhaps it had never been strong at all. The night had a way of smoothing everything, making even the smallest differences feel distant and unimportant. A cloud passed somewhere above, unseen, but somehow felt. The darkness shifted, not brighter, not darker, just different in a way that could not be easily explained. Still, nothing happened. The hours passed as they always did, quietly, without interruption. The world did not ask for attention. It did not demand movement. It simply remained as it was. The man's eyes grew heavier. He did not fall asleep immediately. Instead, he drifted slowly, resting in that quiet space between waking and dreaming. Thoughts came and went without direction, like faint echoes that never fully formed. He thought briefly of the day, but even that was fading. It had been like every other day, and because of that, it was difficult to hold on to. Soon, even that thought disappeared. The candle flickered again, slightly more this time, as if gently acknowledging the passage of time. The flame bent, then returned to its quiet, steady shape. It would not last much longer. The man's breathing slowed, deepened. Even Ned, the small movements of his body grew less frequent, until they nearly stopped altogether. Outside, the village remained still. No footsteps crossed the dirt paths. No doors opened. No voices broke the silence. Everything remained exactly as it was, unchanged, undisturbed. The candle flame grew smaller. Its light no longer reached as far as before. The corners of the room had already disappeared into shadow, and now even the nearer walls seemed distant. The wooden table was gone from sight. Only the bed, the blanket, and the faint glow of the flame remained. Then, slowly, so slowly it was almost impossible to notice, the flame began to fade. There was no sudden moment, no dramatic end. It simply became smaller and smaller until it was gone. A thin thread of smoke rose briefly into the darkness, then disappeared. The room was now completely dark, and yet nothing felt different. The man did not wake. He did not move. The absence of light did not disturb him. It was simply another part of the same quiet, unchanging night. Time continued, though it could no longer be seen. The silence deepened, or perhaps it only felt that way. Without the candle, there was nothing left to focus on. No flicker, no shadow, no movement at all, only stillness. And in that stillness, the night carried on exactly as it always had, unchanged, unnoticed, unimportant. Eventually, though no one marked the moment, the first faint hint of morning began to arrive. It did not rush in. It did not announce itself. It came slowly, softly. A pale light, barely there, touched the edges of the world. But inside the cottage, nothing changed. The man slept. The room remained quiet. The night, in all the ways that mattered, had been exactly the same as every night before it. And that was all it needed to be. If this quiet story helped you relax, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, Heaven for Sleepers. There is always another calm, uneventful night waiting for you here.